am Andrew in Nairobi, and I'd like to welcome our viewers in Kenya and around the globe. The Courier show takes an exclusive look at art, sports, technology, and politics. On to our headlines. The Mexican mayor of Chichiquila, Alfonso Fernandez, was held ransom in his office along with his staff. Outraged citizens held protest outside of City Hall, demanding 10 million pesos as ransom. This 10 million was meant to go to the projects that he had promised during his campaign. Leaders from the two Koreas have agreed to cease the Korean War, 65 years after hostilities ceased, in a move that will see the removal of the Korean military from the peninsula. Both leaders signed a peace treaty. And on to our main story of today. Today at the Smithsonian in the United States, one Kehendi Wiley displayed a portrait of former President Barack Obama. When interviewed about his painting, Kehendi said that the portrait was a depiction of Barack Obama's life. How he achieved this is by using certain flowers in the portrait. Now to bring it back home, one Collins Omondi drew his way into President Uhuru's heart. Collins, or Jadong as is known back home, he drew a portrait of President Uhuru Kenyatta in his combat regalia. Collins had been drawing ever since primary school, but when he fell in love with arts and crafts in primary, the government scrapped it off. On top of that, in as much as Collins has been successful as an artist, this has not come without challenges. Like take for example when he finished his first degree in art and design. His father urged him to take another degree in commerce as art is not as lucrative, which brings us to our main question. Is it that the government and parents don't take art seriously? Why don't they think that art is good enough? That our Twitter is getting a lot of buzz. We have a tweet from one Eve Chala that says, the government and our parents just started appreciating art lately, and that's why the curriculum has been introduced in schools. I'm getting word that our correspondent has something special to say about art. Let's listen to him. Yes, Patrick.
Thank you very much, Andrew. I'd like to say that art is a very important factor in our life, because with art, people tend to express many things, feelings, thoughts, name it. In Kenya, but as we have seen in international countries, as we have seen in countries outside Africa and some in Africa, for example South Africa, art is used as a form of can be used as a form of a source of employment and eventually becoming a source of income. So rooting back to Africa, I think it's time we changed the norm that art isn't useful, and it's time we started to embrace it, because it's art. Everything in life entails art, be it movies, be it school, be it how you eat, how you do things, how you communicate. Everything is about art, and it's time that we in Kenya and in Africa.
Now we are now on to our panel discussion. We are joined in by African Duta, Brian Karwiru, and Cynthia Aurelia. Yes, Cynthia, what do you have to say about the government not fully appreciating art?
The art industry is struggling. It's really struggling, because this is the time where our parents are trying to be open-minded about this whole situation. And
African, what do you say?
the government really needs to come through for the people who are doing art. They need to come in and fund the programs, art programs that will take place, the seminars, and this is going to motivate artists, because then they'll see that there's a higher body that is looking out for them. And
Brian Karwiru, what's your take on this?
Yes, okay. I think the funding of art programs in schools is quite phenomenal because it gives the children a chance to focus on their skills.
Dan, why do you think our parents? Why is it that our parents think that art is not as lucrative?
I think it's a very taboo and cliche way of thinking that children really need to be academics and less of artistics. It's very unfortunate that a parent would think like that, because skills on a guitar can be just as remarkable as being good in calculus, sometimes even better, because arts communicate to our feelings and who we are as people, while academics teach us how to live better. And none of those things can be put aside as one being more important than the other. So I think it's very unfortunate that anyone thinks like that.
Yes, African.
I think our parents, not all parents really, but most parents have this mentality from a very long time ago. It's a very archaic mentality, if you ask me. They don't believe in their children who are more inclined to art, and it's because most people believe that the serious jobs are what will bring money. The serious jobs are what will make people find you serious out there. It's a mentality that is really based on what other people think.
And on to a final question, Aurelia, do you think art would, if us as Kenyans embraced art earlier on, do you think it would have changed the society?
A huge difference, because you will find out that almost 80% of students in class are more artistic than they are science oriented, and if this culture would have been initiated earlier on in life, or our parents could have known this, or their parents could have understand artistic children, we could be way forward. Because when you think about the film industry in Kenya, if you think about the photography, the galleries in Kenya, there could have been more, but since it was not embraced earlier, we are still struggling, we are stagnant. I can't say we are there yet.
And finally, yes, Brian.
Yes, I think Kenya would do way better than many countries if we were to embrace our art, because it's very untapped and it's very rich. We have a lot to show off and we don't. So I think we have more to gain than the Western countries, because we have more to show off than they do. They have almost told all their stories, while we have not even half of ours told, and the really good ones, the really good stories have not yet been told. So I think that's a very unfortunate bit.
Thank you, Brian, Aurelia, and African. Sadly, we have come to the end of our show, but I'll give you a piece of my mind on what I think about art. I feel like art is beautiful and wholesome and an expression of who we are. I feel like art is the way we tend to express the evils or the goods that are happening in our society. So if you don't embrace art, we're generally hiding from ourselves. That's it for now. This has been the Courier Show. Please continue the conversation on our Twitter handles at the Courier, or at my own Twitter handle at Kwazi_minor. Thank you.